The curtains have now been drawn on the G7 summit in France that concluded yesterday, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi held 6 bilaterals with world leaders. The focus now shifts to Russia, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be visiting Russia next week for the annual India-Russia summit and the Eastern Economic Forum. Our correspondent Sidhant Sibal spoke exclusively to Indian envoy to Russia, DB Venkatesh Varma. He spoke at length on the External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar and Prime Minister Modi's upcoming visits there. Take a listen in.
India and Russia have long-standing partnership. We have seen how there have been high-level engagement, especially in the second term of the Modi government. With me is the Indian envoy to Russia. So welcome to WION. My first question to you is, how does the relationship currently stands between the two countries?
The special and privileged strategic partnership between India and Russia is now poised for a new leap forward. Tomorrow we start the visit of our Minister for External Affairs, Dr. Jaishankar, to Moscow for talks with his counterpart, Foreign Minister Lavrov. This tops a series of high-level contacts between India and Russia, including the visit of 2 Deputy Prime Ministers to India, the visit of our National Security Advisor to Moscow, and the forthcoming visit of our Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas, Mr. Pradhan, to Moscow at the end of the month.
How does New Delhi sees Russia as a partner, as an ally? We have seen a lot of positive developments. We have talked about the high-level engagement, the Indian Prime Minister visiting Russia. So what's New Delhi's view about Moscow?
New Delhi's view of Moscow is that our relationship with Russia remains one of our most important relationships in a fast-changing world. We see Russia as a partner, a very reliable partner, a long-term partner, and that is also reflected in the relationship between Prime Minister Modi and President Putin. The two leaders met on a number of occasions. This will of course be the bilateral summit in Vladivostok, but they met in Osaka, in Bishkek, and on each occasion our agenda for bilateral cooperation in regional and international issues has only expanded. So therefore India and Russia are poised on a new trajectory of growth, and we are very confident that the Vladivostok summit, the bilateral summit, will result in not only consolidating the traditional pillars of a cooperation between India and Russia, which is in the field of defense, nuclear, space and energy, but adding to these traditional pillars, we will add new pillars of cooperation which will give boosted momentum to our relations by including interregional cooperation. And the Russian Far East is a priority for us.
Interestingly, a special ISRO unit will be established in the Indian mission in Moscow to facilitate increased cooperation between India and Russia. As a part of that mission, Indian astronauts will be visiting Russia and going through 15 months of training. This will be followed by a 6 to 8 months long training in India.
India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar will be meeting his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov on Tuesday here in Moscow. Focus will be on Afghanistan, the developing situation in Persian Gulf and the Iran nuclear deal. We know that Russia and India both are in touch when it comes to the situation in Afghanistan, because both get impacted if the situation destabilizes in Afghanistan. When it comes to Russia-New Delhi partnership, Russia has been backing New Delhi in various issues, various global and regional issues. In fact, Russia was the first P5 nation to come out in support of New Delhi after 5th of August decision of India to remove the special status for the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir. When it comes to defense partnership, that remains the major pillar of this relationship, and the visit by the External Affairs Minister comes just days after the visit of India's NSA Ajit Doval, who visited Moscow and met his counterpart. But by and large, there have been a number of high-level visits between both the countries, and now the Indian Prime Minister will be in Russia. He will be taking part in the annual summit between both the countries. Last year, the summit happened in New Delhi, and both announced the big S-400 deal.